The one behind me, it's called Eywa, and so it's been really difficult to find models for my inspiration and characters that I like and characters that capture me. So I figured, which was really interesting when I was a portrait drawer on the streets when we arrived to Australia, I noticed that people don't think that they're beautiful enough to be drawn. And we often had that comment, no, I don't want to be drawn because I'm not beautiful enough. Now, in social media in the past, say, 10 years, we see an opposite tendency where people becoming obsessed by photographing themselves. The whole selfie culture is just turned this whole thing around, and now suddenly through the camera lens people became confident enough to expose themselves, and often in a very erotic way or challenging way. And I thought that was really interesting because that's where social media and people taking photos of themselves really reflects on how they think of themselves. Now I started using Instagram about 4 years ago, and I found many interesting characters and many interesting people photographing themselves. And she is one of my favorite Instagram influencers that for some reason her character and her looks just captured me. And she's also into psychedelic trance, and she loves dreadlocks, she's a hair artist, she loves nature, she loves growing food, and she's very outspoken about her practices and what she does in her daily life. And as an influencer, it influenced me. So I liked her tattoos, like really quite tribal, maybe a bit rough around the edges. I liked her piercings, I liked her hair, and I find that she's like a modern tribal woman, a wild woman who's still feminine. So I decided to paint her. Now, I really like those large size portraits, which I haven't really done before this one. And haven't really worked on this size either, so it was quite new for me, because we were taught to paint portraits as sort of size of your palm, as a comfortable, like stick with the life size, because once you grow bigger and it feels like it's overgrown, you're like a giant, like trying to grow out of the image. But on this size it's quite comfortably works and quite comfortably fits, and it allows you to get into small details. And I like the contrasting light, is what I really liked about the image, and this painting really captures that Australian middle of the summer, middle of the day sun, where everything is really contrasting and it's almost like burnt in the background. There are a lot of details gone, and it's really dark and really bright and really saturated. So it also reminds me of that time of the beach, that if you have been in Australia on the beach, you will know that time of the day, and that feel, the strength of the sun, and I thought it would be really interesting to see if I can make it again, like a little bit more stylized, a little bit more abstract, and incorporate my intention, the decorative intention, seeking that extra rather than just copying reality. And that's where the patterns and lines come into place, because they express flow of energy, they express movement. I thought, let's see if I can work it and keep it realistic, but also have that abstract side to it, where the patterns, some of these patterns take over, but they still follow the structure of the body, they still follow the form. And I'm still quite pleased.